Hello and welcome to week 4. My name is Mildred. This week we are going to look at CSS lists. We are going to look at the CSS box model. We are going to look at the margins, the borders, the padding, the height and the width. We are going to look at backgrounds, and we are going to look at what an outline is. And then if we have more time, we are going to look at images this week. In this lesson, we are going to look at CSS lists and how to style an HTML list using CSS. Now we have an ordered list and an ordered list on the page. We want to create these styles. Let me use the head section of the page. I am going to create a style for the ordered list, and then I'll create a style for the unordered list. In CSS, to style lists, we have different properties that we can use. We have the list style type property, written list style type. What we use this property to do is to specify the type of marker for the list item. So the values it takes are circle, decimal, leading zeros. We have Dix, Georgian. We've seen a lot of these values in the previous lesson. And so if you refer to your lecture notes, you'll see a list of values that the list style type property can take. So I'm going to put decimal leading 0, which is going to list the marker with the natural numbers 1 to 3, but is going to add a leading 0 to the marker. If I go to my page and refresh, the list of the course subjects are ordered, and when I refresh this, it should have the leading 0 to it. There are several values that you can use. We can decide to use Armenian, which is going to put the numbering in a different language, and when I refresh, we're going to have that way. So you can use the list style type to specify the type of marker for the list item. Also, we have something called the list style image. If you don't want to use numbers and you want to use images for the list type, you can specify an image that will be the marker. So I'll leave the style type as Armenian, and then I'll create a list style image. And for this, I have images in my images folder. I have several images, and the image I want to use here is the live.png image. And so to specify an image, you use URL, and then in a pair of quotes, we specify the reference for the image. So the image is in the images folder, / the name of the image is live.png. So you can put any image you want in your images folder. Just make sure that the image is small enough, the height and the width of the image is small enough to be a list marker. When I save this and I refresh my page, I have a live image as my list marker. I can do the same thing for the unordered list and change the images that this will use. So you notice that the list style type specifies a type of marker, and because we don't need a type, since we want to use an image as the list marker, we use the list style image. Now for this one, I want to use, let's say, a check mark. So note that before the lesson, I already saved my images in my images folder, and that is why I have images that I am using. And when I refresh this page, I have the check mark as my list marker. There is another property that is used, and it's called the list style position. And what the list style position does is that it positions the marker either inside of the principal block or outside of the principal block. And in this case, the list style position takes the value inside or outside or inherits from a parent. So we are going to use inside, and here we are going to use outside, so you can see the difference. So I will save this, refresh my page, and we have inside positions inside of the block, and outside remains aligned on the block. So that is what we use the list style position to do. And so these are the styles you can apply to lists in CSS. You know, we can also use the shorthand property called the list style, where we can specify everything in one declaration like this, list style. And then when we specify the list style, we specify the list style type, the image or the position or the one declaration. So let's say I want to use an image here, images / leaf.png. I want to specify it to be inside. So I'm going to use the list style shorthand for the unordered list, and when I refresh, I should have it inside and using the leaf instead of the checkmark, like this. So these are the CSS properties that we use for styling lists in HTML. And this is where this lesson ends. In the next lesson, we are going to look at the CSS box model, where we will look at the margins, the paddings, the borders, the height, and the width.